What is up, Cancer? How y'all doing? It is bonus time. Time for your May 2025 bonus reading. So what I'm doing here when I do bonus readings is I'm looking for details, situations, or scenarios that were skipped over, missed, or for whatever reason left out of the main monthly reading. So for those of you who are in need of a personal reading, you can find all the information you need as far as how to go about doing that right down here in the description of this video. Also, don't forget to check out our handmade crystal jewelry that we have on my website. Most of it's handmade by my wife and my daughter, some of it by myself. But we got that on the website now, and we will be restocking that as it sells, because trust me, we have a lot of crystals. A whole lot. We could stock a whole store with all of our crystals. So, also, for those of you catching this on time, technically, since this is being recorded in the month of April, we got about another week, and my course on the steps to true healing is going bye-bye. May 1st. I personally feel like that's a pretty important course. That's the main reason why I made it so cheap. So the link for that is in the description. Again, May 1st. Going bye-bye. All right, let's jump into this. I'm starting these off with general messages. General, career, finance, friends, family, anything but romance. What general messages do we have for the Cancerian collective in the month of May? Universe. Ace of Pentacles reversed. Now, for those of you who have been trying to start a new job, it doesn't look like there's a lot of action happening as far as that goes in May. Hang on a second. Temperance reversed. Wow, this is interesting. This happened for Gemini, Taurus. So I got a couple of different things going on here. A few different things. Now, for those of you who are like currently employed and you're wondering if there's some kind of worst case scenario that's going to happen, no, there's not. You're stable. For right now, you're just fine, okay? But for those of you who have been taking action towards starting a new job, not really seeing that happening in May. Not really. I don't really think it's time. I don't think your cycle is quite complete yet. However, there is also somebody from your past that is contemplating whether or not to reach out. Now, remember, this is not romance. So the first thing I'm looking at is it friend or family? At the end of the day, it's whoever the first person is that comes to your mind when I say this, but I do have some family energy here. Some of you may have had a falling out with your mom, possibly. But regardless of who it is, I do think this person is contemplating. They're contemplating it. And I think they may even be going as far as to plan for it. But in the month of May, for some reason, they're still a little bit too afraid to come forward. And it's not telling me why. It's not telling me why. Which is weird, because usually when that comes through, it gives an indication as to why they're too afraid to come forward. Like they're afraid that it's going to turn into conflict, or they're embarrassed, or something. They're intimidated. It's not even telling me why. So the only thing that I could think is that it's probably just ego. You know, probably all ego driven. But yeah, whoever this is on your mind, or whoever that comes to your mind when I say that, they're contemplating it. They do want closure, just too afraid to come forward. Okay, well, let's get some general advice. General advice for Cancer. General advice. Boom. Woohoo. Lover's card. Fool card reversed. And a death card reversed. Well, I mean, at the end of the day, if somebody's too afraid to come forward, I don't think now is the time. Let me see how I'm going to word this. I really don't think now is the time. If somebody wants to come forward and apologize and get closure, they can do that themselves, especially if they're the ones that fucked up. Okay? I think for the majority of you, you're dealing with somebody who they're the one that fucked up. They're the one that caused the whole situation, and maybe they're kind of hoping that you'll come try to get closure. No. Not now. Not right now. Maybe a little bit later on down the line if you want to shoot this person a closure message. But right now, it's nah. If you're the one that fucked this up, if you're the one that caused the problem, you're the one that started the fight, I'm not coming forward. Now, definitely be working on your healing and releasing this and making peace with the past. I'm not saying don't do that. I'm not saying hold a grudge. There's a big, big difference between setting boundaries and holding a grudge. Big difference, okay? And the only person that needs to know is you. It's the only person that needs to know. So let them accuse you of whatever they want to accuse you of, I know where my heart is. I know what my intentions are. If you want to go tell everybody I'm holding a grudge, I don't give a fuck. Tell them what you want, say what you want, think what you want. I know what my intentions are. I'm not holding a grudge, I'm setting boundaries, right? If I get bit by a fucking dog, I'm not going to pet that dog again. Not mad at it, but fuck that. I'm not petting that little bastard again. It's called common sense, So, but now's not the time, though, to be trying to patch things up with somebody who they're the one that fucked things up. No, not in Taurus season. Now's not the time for that. Just be sure that you're doing what you can do to release and heal from the past, okay? And if they want to come have an adult conversation, then we'll cross that bridge when we get to it. All right, let's move on to the love portion. I want to see what's going on between Cancer and the new person. Newest person you just recently connected with. How's it looking in May? How's it looking in May? That deck is not happy with me. Let's grab another one. How's it looking in May? Cancer and the new person. Newest person in Cancer's life. Now, some of you are with somebody at the workplace, maybe. I know that's not all of you. Let me see what else comes through. It's kind of, I don't know. You may be contemplating whether or not you jumped into this too quick. You may be a little bit worried that you jumped into this too quick. Yeah, see, you're going through a battle between ego and intuition. Yeah, you can't tell because on some days, it really seems like this person loves you and wants to be with you. On other days, it feels like they're playing mind games with you. They only want you for sex or whatever they can get from you, and they're just playing games with you. The next day, you feel like this person's your fucking divine life partner. The next day, you feel like they're keeping fucking secrets. Like there's this big battle between ego and intuition, and you can't tell if you're intuitively picking up on something that's off about this person or if you just fucking tripping. And maybe, like I said, for some of you, you may have jumped into this a little fast, or you may be thinking that you jumped into it fast. Could be a Gemini for some of you, could be a fellow Cancer. I also have Leo, Pisces, and Capricorn. Could be anybody. Those are just energies. All right. Well, now the moment of truth. Let's see their true feelings, energies, and intentions. New person Cancer's dealing with. What are their truest, deepest feelings, energies, and intentions? Are you intuitively picking up on something that's off? Is this person a sneaky, deceitful little shithead? Or are you just fucking tripping? I don't know. Let's see. I don't know, man. Two more shuffles, two more. Six of Wands reversed, Fool card reversed, Star card reversed, Six of Cups. Okay, I see where this is going. Okay. All right. So, are you just tripping? Yes and no. Yes and no. Okay. It's really, really, really common to overthink your intuition. When you get an intuitive impulse, the ego immediately gets to work trying to solve the puzzle and figure out what it is. And it's really, 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 really easy because the ego is designed primarily to keep you safe. That's the main thing the ego is designed to do, is to keep you safe. So the ego is nothing but a record of past experiences. So the ego works really, 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 really hard collecting information that it gathered in the past and coming up with defense mechanisms to keep you safe from being harmed by things that have hurt you in the past. So what you're picking up on is the fact that this person is having a very difficult, challenging time moving on from their last relationship. That's what you're picking up on. They still have lots of unhealed heartbreak that they never dealt with. They never healed from. They've never released it. Now, are they trying to get back with their ex? No, not at all. Matter of fact, they hope that you're their person. I think they really do want to settle down and be with you. What you're picking up on, though, is all the past vibrational baggage that they're carrying. That's what you're picking up on. So are you picking up on somebody else's energy? Yes. Are you picking up on the fact that there's more going on beneath the surface than is being revealed to you? Yes. But are they maliciously playing games with you and manipulating you? No. But I could see where you would come to that conclusion. I think most people would, feeling the energy that you're feeling, I think most people could easily jump to that conclusion. I probably would. Very possibly. I don't think that's the case. Now, here's the slippery part. That doesn't necessarily mean that this is going to be happily ever after. Not necessarily. Hopefully, hopefully. But good intentions or not, if this energy isn't put in check, this eventually will end up leading to the demise of the connection. Because you're still confused about what their intentions are. Just because I tell you what their intentions are, all that does is put a little temporary Band-Aid on the wound. Might make you feel better for a day or two, but eventually you're still going to have trouble figuring out what their intentions are. You know, because they're not letting you in at that level. Okay, well, let's get the advice. What's the advice for Cancer and the new person? What's the advice? Page of Swords reversed. And the Ten of Wands again. Okay, so here's the tricky part about this. And this, again, this is the slipperiest slope in the history of slippery slopes. On one hand, can you really blame them for keeping this to themselves? Now, what I mean by that is a lot of people would get really offended if the person they're dating starts talking about their ex and how unhealed they are from that. That could very easily offend the shit out of somebody. I'm not saying that it should offend them, but a lot of people would probably start feeling very insecure and offended by that. Now the question is, would you? Would that bother you? Would that be an uncomfortable conversation to have? That's where this is slippery, because the two of you, look, you want to lay a solid foundation and build a successful life partnership with somebody. Y'all should be able to have these kinds of conversations. Yep. Your person should be the person you can talk to about anything. Anything. So I'm just going to kind of throw it out there like that. It would be ideal if you all could have a conversation about this. They should be able to open up, you know, and you should be able to be okay with it without judging them. And then, ideally, they can have an easier time processing through it and releasing it. And the best case scenario, you could help them through that process. You know? So, whatever it takes to try to see if the two of you can get to that point, that could turn a whole new leaf in this particular connection. Could turn a whole new leaf. So, there's potential here. Absolutely. Thank you, Marietta, for the super chat. Appreciate you. Thank you. All right. Let's see who's coming in next for the singles. Who's coming in next for the single Cancerians? Four of Cups reversed again. Could be a fellow water sign for some of you. But I kind of feel like this is somebody that just kind of wants to jump straight into any opportunity that comes their way. Hang on. Emperor. Oh, okay. So, there's something about this person. You're having a hard time determining whether or not you're even into this person. Honestly. And I think they're coming on a little bit strong. You know, maybe they're trying to jump into this too fast. Maybe they're being a little bit love bomby. And at the same time, there's something about them that feels a little bit emotionally immature. There's something about this person's energy that kind of rubs you the wrong way a little bit. You can't really put a finger on exactly what it is. But this is telling me that if that energy isn't put in check, it won't take long at all before things get ugly between the two of you. Devil card. Yeah, it almost kind of feels like somebody that has ulterior motives. Coming in hard, strong, fast. And it's a little off-putting. A little bit off-putting. And it triggers your defenses almost immediately. You're not 100% sure if you're really all that into it. But if you kind of just go with it anyway and just play the what if game, then tension is starting to build. And yeah, it could end up not pretty. Got the Empress there, though. You know what? Before I say anything else, let me see this person's intentions. Before I even say anything, I don't want to put my 2 cents in on that just yet. What are their truest, deepest feelings, energies, and intentions? 2 of Wands reverse. Ah, yeah, 7 of Cups. Okay. Okay. Gotcha. Yeah, so they have their options open. I think you can kind of tell, too. I think this person was recently abandoned or ghosted. They got hurt recently. Yeah. You are right on point. Your intuition is on point with this person. 7 of Swords, 7 of Cups, Devil card. They're just trying to fill a void and distract themselves from heartbreak. And I think you can see straight through the bullshit immediately. See straight through it. Okay, well, yeah, all right, that was quick. That was fast. I guess let's just go straight to the advice. We pretty much got the outcome there in the first spread. What's the advice then? What's the advice? Oh, 5 of Pentacles. Hang on. Uh-oh, karmic wheel. So don't try not to create karma here, okay? Which is really easy to fucking do. Don't play the what if game. Don't do that. Pay very close attention to how the energy feels. Very close attention. I'm not saying that the minute one thing doesn't feel right, you got to take off and run. I'm not saying that. But make a mental note of it. When I very first come together and connect with you, if it don't feel right, I'm going to take a mental note. Something feels off. I don't know what it is. Maybe it's you. Maybe it's me. Maybe you're having a bad day. Maybe I'm having a bad day. Maybe, whatever. So I'm going to take a mental note of that. In the meantime, I'm going to keep you at an arm's distance, and I'm going to see if this energy changes. So the next time we connect, does it feel any different? It don't? Feels a little bit heavier. Oh, okay. All right, well, one more time. Next time we connect, the energy still feels off, something still feels weird. And every time we connect, it gets heavier and heavier and heavier. Don't play the what if game. At the end of the day, it doesn't matter why the energy feels off. It doesn't matter. Let's run through a list of the top 3 leading causes of a connection not feeling right when you first meet somebody. Number 1, the most obvious. You're intuitively picking up on something that's off about that person. That's one reason why a connection may not feel right. Number 2, you are so broken and traumatized, and you have so much unprocessed shit that you haven't dealt with, that the lens through which you view the world is so cracked and broken that you're just not capable of picking up what they're putting down. That's another reason why a connection may not feel right. Or the two of you are both such an energetic mismatch that neither of you are capable of picking up what each other is putting down. Those are probably the top 3 leading causes of why a connection may not feel right when you first connect with somebody. Which one of those reasons that I just named is better than the others? Which one of those can you lay a foundation on? Which one of those reasons is the exception? None of them. None of them. No matter which one of those reasons it is, if the energy isn't put in check, it will lead to the demise of the connection. So when something feels off, don't let your ego do all this thinking and what ifing and trying to make excuses and talking you out of it. After a certain point, if the energy feels off for a long enough period of time, I don't know what it is, but something feels off. So I'm going to back away from this. We just ain't vibing. I don't know why we're not vibing. I don't know if it's you. I don't know if it's me. I don't know if it's both of us, but something's off here. So I'm backing away. Pay attention to the energy. Okay? All right, y'all. I feel like those were the messages that my Cancerian family needed to hear, so I'm going to go ahead and end this video here. Thanks again for tuning in and playing along. Don't forget, the information for personal readings is right down there in the description. All right? I'm out of here now, y'all. I will see you sometime between now and the rest of all eternity.